What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Real Deal Sport. Usual guys here. Myself, Brother Walt, Brother John. Gentlemen, how are you all doing?
I'm pretty good.
Good, man.
Hey,
Good.
I was gonna talk about this and I forgot because I got sidetracked last time talking about stupid movies that I saw. But I gotta talk about this. Imagine the greatest athlete of all time. But he's on the backside of his career and he walks into the championship game on crutches because he may have torn an ACL, but he's still there. And he walks in and he performs, and like at halftime a protester comes in and he ends up body slamming that dude and then goes on to still win the championship. I'm talking about Joey Chestnut, man. This dude won
Wait, who the
his
hell?
15th hot dog eating contest and just dominated the field. He was nowhere close to his
I like where you was going with that. I like the build up, man. I like the build up.
nowhere close to his record.
I'm like, he talking about Terrell Owens. Then he like, wait, he's not. No, we're talking about Terrell Owens.
Dude, this dude body slammed a protester, man.
I did see that.
On like a torn ACL or something like that. I don't know what he got, but I
guess he ain't working on his stomach. He been working on his upper body. It did look pretty impressive with the body slam, though.
I would like to know though, like, how do you do that every time? Like, what that next morning or that night looks like for you? That's what I want.
He lost to his own record by like 16 hot dogs and still beat like the second best person by like 20 hot dogs.
That's crazy.
And for people who think like ain't no one watching, man, that thing's like there were like 20. I don't know how big that crowd was. I'm not good at but like
I'm just curious on how he just goes year round and training for that.
It was packed, man. That place
all the time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you train to eat?
Like, you just eat like hot dogs like 365 days of the year or something like that. Or
then I seen another video. A dude ate like he drank like a gallon of lemonade.
Oh,
like, bruh.
And then their technique is they dip. Don't they be dipping a hot dog in the
water?
That's nasty as hell. That's
and also like the lady won like 8 in a row too now. Like, so apparently this is her future is eating a lot of hot dogs. Apparently that's she plans to.
I am curious, like, dude, for these events, are they like big paying events? Like, I mean, I'm guessing so. Depending on how many people show
like
up.
a meal, maybe like a meal, like the Madden tournaments, probably, maybe.
Yeah, and this seems like something that's probably like almost like X Games or something. You know what I mean? Like it's probably sponsored by like Monster Energy or something like that.
Like how does that work? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to down what they do. You feel me? Like, hey, if that's your profession, eating hot dogs, hey, I wish I could do that my damn self. But it's just that dipping the hot dog in the water shit. I don't know how that's the technique. That's just nasty as hell.
But really, both of those, man, with the hot dogs and the lemonade, it's like what your stomach feel like after that. Like that later that night. That next day, hell, really that week after. I know that stomach got to be bogus. Your stomach got to be hurting. Like you got to, like come on.
It's mighty fine.
Yeah, like it's just like, how do you do that? We got to interview Joey. I got questions for my man.
I feel like that'll be a pretty interesting interview.
Like, how do you do that? Like, bruh. Like, how do you prepare yourself mentally to eat 100 hot dogs? How? Or drink a gallon of lemonade.
You should have a little time, especially with that injury. So, hey, Joey, if you're watching, man, come holler at us, man. We got some questions.
Yeah. Hey, call our people.
I'm about to say our people is like pretty much either our wives or girlfriends. So
we are our people.
Agents.
We are our people. Call us. But let's get into it, guys. Randy Moss. Man, this might be probably one of the craziest things I've heard. He's leaving Monday Night Football. Like, bro, Randy, what you doing? I used to always look forward to the You Got Moss segments of the show because some of them people was getting Moss. Corners was Moss and receivers, tight ends was Moss and everybody. It was a great segment. But I think he also brought a element of the game where almost like the same element Shaq brings to inside the NBA. He was that guy, and he could bring his aspect of how he went into games, his process going into playing a Darrell Reeves or uh, I would say Richard Sherman, but I think T.O. wasn't in the league then. But playing them number one corners, how he went into the game, what him and his quarterback went through during the week. So I think this might be a blow because it's like, who else do you bring in after him to give you that same pizzazz? Honestly, what you think about it, Walt?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to say it's going to be a tough loss for Monday. But if I'm not mistaken, I was just reading. I think he's going to be still on Sunday or whatever. If I'm not mistaken, the
Okay.
Sunday countdown.
Yeah, Sunday
So
NFL countdown. Yeah.
I think we'll still get him there on Sundays, but he'll definitely be missed on Mondays.
Yeah.
Like you said, his segment, which you got Moss, man, that was definitely something that you want to look forward to start your week off. That Monday, like, damn, I really want to see you got Moss because I want to see who got Moss last week.
And he was having like high school games,
right? And it's like it wasn't just the NFL games; it was like high school,
small colleges,
everywhere.
I'm like,
You feel me? So that's dope. So I mean, I know everybody's going to definitely miss that segment come Monday, but hopefully he can still bring that same energy on Sunday. And I don't know if he plans on coming back because I think they said that he's the one that kind of discontinued the show on Monday or whatever. So I will see, but I know Randy Moss is going to make some moves towards he's still going to be on TV some way somehow to still talk about football in some type of shape or form. So
go ahead, John.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like he wants to dial his back. I guess it was the travel. It sounds like maybe he didn't like the travel so much.
Because you got to be in New York for 3 days. What, Saturday, Sunday, Monday? 3 days, 2 nights, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. So he, it's right. Some guys like they have enough money. You know what I mean? It sounds like he might have renegotiated his contract to make it. It sounds like it might be a smaller contract, which makes sense. Obviously, we're doing less, but it sounds like it was a lot, and it's not something he's looking to do right now. Who could they bring in? I mean, man, when he was younger, man, Chad Johnson was that guy. Chad Johnson was that guy who brought energy to a lot of things.
Think he could still be that?
No, I'm just saying. Like, I imagine, you know what I mean? It's like Shannon Sharp, man. They were that guy when they were young, and I think they'll be that guy when they're old. Like, so I think Chad Johnson's a guy who could bring that kind of energy, maybe if you're looking for a receiver specifically. But yeah, man, it's a bummer to lose. It's always a bummer to lose Randy. Like, that's a big deal, I mean, this dude was a legend, but just hearing his take on stuff is pretty cool because we always have quarterbacks, and there's tons of quarterbacks and linebackers and tight ends talking, broadcasting games. But to get a receiver, I mean, these were the guys, man. Like when we were kids, I don't know, I know everyone thinks like quarterback is like the sex symbol dude, you know what I mean? Like the one that the ladies all wanted. But for me, man, it was receivers. Like those were the guys, man. Chad Johnson, T.O., Randy Moss, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce. Like those were the dudes. Like they were the coolest guys. You know what I mean? Like to me, they were always the coolest guys, and that's why I always like wanted to be a receiver. But like man, yeah. So hearing they just bring energy to everything they do. Yeah. Sure, quarterbacks are cool, but these dudes are like fun. Like receivers were like they were the fun guys that everyone wanted to hang out with.
Yeah, I agree with John. I think we did grow up in like a receiver era though. Like if you think about it, like you said with the Chad Johnsons, Randy Mosses, even
somebody a lot of people don't even speak about, Steve Smith,
Jimmy Smith, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne. Yeah, you could just go on.
You know what I'm saying? He's the originated the one-handed catch in my opinion, but I don't know. I agree with John. It was he's gonna be missed, but at the end of the day, somebody's got to take his job. So I'm just curious of who's going to be taking his job. So.
Hey, ESPN, all one of us. We got it. We could all do like 4 weeks apiece. Give us all a month. We all do.
Back and forth to New York.
Yeah. John get the first 4, get the next 4, I get the last 4, and then we all do week 17. It was all worked out. Huh?
Kudos to Randy on whatever he does next.
Absolutely.
But I would say his best segment though was when Justin Jefferson had him doing the gritty, and then Steve Young came out there and tried to do.
And then I think Adam Schefter.
No, Adam, you're right. It was Adam. Then he like hurt himself, like tore his Achilles or something.
He did.
How you tell your Achilles dancing? But
That's tough. That's
story for another day. But speaking, staying in the NFL, Baker Mayfield has finally been traded from Walt's favorite team to Carolina. What's your take on it, former Baker Mayfield rooter?
Honestly, though, I'm thankful for Baker, man, and I am just because of the fact that he got us our first playoff game and forever. His rookie season, he dominated. He broke the rookie passing touchdown record. So I'm very grateful for Baker, but I do understand why the Browns made the move to get Deshaun Watson. I mean, like I said, the guy was top 3 quarterback before this whole situation happened. So I felt like if any other team could have grabbed him, yeah, but we had pretty much the best scenario for Deshaun Watson to say, and then like I said, when you have the opportunity to go get somebody like that, you don't want to miss out on that. So, but we're not talking about Watson, we're talking about Baker. So, like I said, I'm grateful for Baker for what he did for the city of Cleveland. Am I, kind of upset at how we handle things a little bit? Maybe, just because of the fact that honestly, if he sat down last year, I don't think we'll be having this same talk right now of trying to trade for Watson or whatever. But yeah, I'm grateful, and I hope nothing for the best. He has a pretty much a nice setup over there with the Panthers. Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, Shaq Thompson, Robbie Anderson. He's got a nice little offensive core over there. The defense is pretty decent. So I guess we just gonna pretty much have to find out week 1, man, and just see if Baker will be starting, because I know that they did say that Baker will be going against Sam Donald. So yeah, Sam Donald for the starting position, if I'm not mistaken. But I think we all pretty much figured that Baker's gonna probably be starting week 1. So I hope for the best, but you better not win no damn championship with Carolina Panthers. I'll be pissed as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Damn, why you mad?
I know, right? I think you said
like, wait, hold on.
Man, listen, I would be mad as hell though, like, bro, like seriously, but that would be a tough bullet to bite. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It definitely would. But I'm not even gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that because the Browns is gonna win before them. So let's go Browns. Go ahead, John.
What you got on it, John?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, cause it's good. It's a good situation for both, I guess. Right? He needed to get out, and they needed to get rid of that contract. It's interesting because, like, apparently, Carolina didn't even want to pay him what they did pay him. They wanted him to take like a $3 or $4 million more cut, and they wanted him to take it, not like Cleveland to pay it or anything. He ended up taking $3.5 million off his own contract, just like taking it off. But so like he's losing out on $3.5 million this year, and they wanted him to go all the way to $7 million. Like Carolina, for an owner who's like one of the richest guys, in the NFL, if not in the world, obviously, but like. He didn't want to pay that money. He said, rumor, I don't know if it's actually his words or someone said he said it, but he said it was like a depressed asset. He was saying like, it's true too. You know what I mean? Like, because you can have a guy who's so upset his last team that he doesn't get excited about his new team. Right. And so like, right. It's like, listen, man, but now when you see that they didn't even want to really take a shot at him, like, what, are you excited to play for this new team? I mean, listen, if I'm getting paid millions to play in the NFL or play football, not in the NFL, but if I'm getting paid millions to play football, man, I don't care who you are, man. I'm showing up. I'm having fun. But this is a guy who was clearly, we've seen he's a moody guy. But will that affect his play? We'll find out. But we were talking about this for weeks though. We were pretty sure it was going to be Carolina. I think everyone thought it was in Carolina. I don't know, but we got Stacey Jones in here saying like they play Carolina week 1. I'm excited about that. It'll be good. It might turn out to be a nothing, but
I can say that. That's my brother.
I'm like, dang, dog. Do we know?
I can say that. That's my brother. I can say that. That's the only reason I say that. If it was somebody random, I probably still would have said it if it was somebody random.
I don't know, man. I was trying to help someone set up their draft for this year for the fantasy draft. And it was like a 2 QB league, and there are 12 players. And I went through 24 quarterbacks, and I was like, I don't know that I would take Baker in that 24. Like stat wise, like fantasy stat wise. And I was like,
I get it, but let's be real. Everybody in this room right now would take Baker over Sam Darnold any day, though. I mean,
right. That's what I'm saying. Is you still got like your backup quarterback is a guy I probably wouldn't take in the top 45. So, so yeah, I mean, I agree. Going and getting him was a good choice, and he was great at running the play action. He really was. I think he led the NFL in play action stats or some sort of stat. I don't know what it was exactly for several years, but obviously he had some of the best running backs in the world, so you had to kind of pay attention to them. You couldn't really, but he still does. I mean, and now he's got a guy. I mean, his best receiver might also be his running back, but I like his receivers though. I mean, Robbie Anderson's got some growth he's got to do, but I think it was good for both of them. Hopefully Baker can move on, and because this happens, man. These teams treat you dirty. You feel like, listen, that's part of it. You just gotta move on if you got another opportunity. Don't wait.
Them dirty, but it's just we just saw a better opportunity, man.
No, I said if you feel. I'm talking about him. I'm saying if you feel your team treated you dirty, no matter what, man, you gotta move on. You got another opportunity because we see quarterbacks all the time. Like Cam, man. Cam was one of the biggest names in the game. And now the dude's like fighting to get like any kind of job. And so listen, don't take it for granted. Not everyone can just walk away like Andrew Luck, and some people. So don't take it for granted. That's all I'm saying.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Nico?
Yeah, I mean, you ain't lying. Y'all hit all the points, honestly, because, I think you just had to, I ain't going to call them dead weight, but you had to move on. Because if you keep them, and hypothetically Deshaun Watson doesn't do too well, then it's, oh man, we should have kept Baker in, or you create a problem. Then the locker rooms become divided because they're like, well, shoot, we ain't winning with Deshaun. We was doing a little something with Baker. You create a problem. So I think you had to get rid of Baker. And, they gave him to, what they could get the best, for him. Because I think a lot of teams wanted them to release him and be like, all right, bet, then we'll pick him up. Because I think they still had to take like $11 million of his contract, right?
Cleveland had to pay I think it was like 10.5 million of his contract, and then the Carolinas had to pay, I think it was like 5%. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, man. I mean, they had to do what they had to do. Gotta let it go because like I said, it creates a problem.
And I feel like a lot of these teams are trying to pay Baker less because I feel like they're just basing this off of last year. So I'm feeling like they're trying to see if he still got it, meaning like if he's, that year that he took it to the playoffs. So, I mean, I'm guessing they probably trying to use this maybe as a way to set a fire under his butt, maybe, just to try to motivate him. Because, I mean, Baker's still young. I mean, like I said, he's not a terrible quarterback. I mean, with the right system, I mean, Baker can definitely win a championship for sure. I mean, it's just, like I said, the Browns fall a better opportunity in a quarterback that they thought that would be good. than Baker. So, like I said, Baker, he still got it. And I just feel like this is just a way to set a fire under his butt to, have a tryout season so he can get that, contract that he wants.
True. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm
saying, what do you think the max for them is, though? Maybe 9 wins, 9 and 8
for Carolina.
Max. What's the max you think?
I'd say about 8 or 9 games.
It depends on the schedule. If you got to play like the Cincinnati's and the Pittsburghs, the Green Bays of the world.
Well, you get Atlanta twice.
You'd be lucky to get to 8, to 500.
You should beat Atlanta twice. Maybe you get 2 against New Orleans. You should
I'll read out their schedule. Do y'all want to read out their schedule?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, in theory, like, No,
let me do it real quick, and I'll just say L or W.
Okay. First week they got Browns.
L.
The second week they got Giants. Third week they got the Saints. Fourth, it's the Cardinals.
Hold on.
Oh.
They start 1 and 3. I guarantee it. Go ahead.
Okay. It's I said the Cardinals and then the Niners, and then it's the
Rams. Lose by 2, 1 and 4.
Then the Rams.
1 and 5.
Then Tampa Bay.
1 and 6.
Then Atlanta.
2 and 6.
Cincinnati.
2 and 7.
Atlanta again for a Thursday night game.
3 and 7.
Baltimore.
3 and 8.
Denver.
That's 3 and 8. 3 and 9. 3 and 9.
Seahawks.
4 and 9. 4 and 9.
The Steelers.
4 and 11.
Detroit.
Oh, 4 and 10. I'm sorry. Detroit.
Yeah. I think they can win that game.
I say 5 and 10.
And then they got Tampa, and then the Saints.
That's a weak schedule, man. I think I'm giving them 8 or 9 wins.
Hell no.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm giving them 8 or 9.
I was about to say that first couple weeks, though. I mean, that's gonna be tough. Though.
They can beat the Browns.
You start off 1 and 3.
No, they can beat, because I'm saying they can beat the Browns. They can beat the Steelers if there's QB turmoil there.
Okay, but you got to look at it like this: the Browns do what best? Run the ball.
They run the ball, yep.
And serve me correctly, I think they gave up a lot of rush yards last year. So that's all I'm saying. I can see 5 and 12. 5 and 12. They might. Now some of them games like the Rams or Cleveland first game of the season, it will be close, but they're gonna find a way to lose. That's just what bad teams do. They find a way to lose. But speaking of QBs, going from John, we mentioned John earlier. Now we're gonna go to Jimmy G. Where does Jimmy G land if he does not stay with the 49ers? To be honest, guys, San Fran might be the best option for him. Because, I don't think they're too sold on Trey Lance yet. So why not? It's different. Their situation is different than Cleveland. Because with Cleveland, Deshaun Watson, you know he can play. You don't know if Trey Lance can play. You don't know, how he looks in a 17-game season. And once you go with Trey Lance, like the Bears did with Justin Fields, you can't go back. You got to go through what they call it, rookie problems, whatever they call it. You got to go through the ups and downs of that season. And then for Trey Lance, this would be his first full year where he's the quarterback, he's the number one, everything. So I think staying in San Fran would be the best until they're 100% sold on Trey. What do you think about it, John?
Yeah, I agree, right? Like they're almost in the same position as Cleveland, like except they know that Deshaun is their guy, right? With them, like they don't know if Trey is actually going to be their guy. Now, George Kittle, he hypes everybody on his team like Tyreek. So you never actually know
Well, he's the ultimate teammate. He's the ultimate teammate.
Right. So you never actually know if he's just saying these things or if he really means them. But he says that Trey Lance is legit. He says he's throwing him, the balls he wants. And also, if he's right, if he's telling the truth, then, Trey Lance, man, like, kudos to him. Like, you can have a great career there. And I think because Jimmy's he's a really good quarterback, but, he's not like a 2022 quarterback in a sense that we think of. You know what I mean? Like the Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. I mean, the gunslingers. Like, you don't really Jimmy's a kind of he's a kind of a conservative quarterback for a day. So
he's a game manager. He's a game manager.
And he's a game winner.
Away.
Yeah, he wins games too. So if they're in on Lance, if he's their guy, then sure, I could see Jimmy going, but he's got injuries to recover from anyway. So maybe by the time they figure out whether Lance is good, then Jimmy will be healthy and he'll still be he'll be extremely tradable, obviously at that point. But especially because we'll know which teams really need a quarterback by that point too. So there will be a team out there probably by week 6 that's like, okay, you know what, we have to make a move for Jimmy if we plan to do anything this year. So I agree. I think they should hang on to him. They keep talking like he's going to go somewhere else. I don't know, man. Like, if I'm DK Metcalf, I want a quarterback. I'm pushing my team to get a quarterback. But, and if I'm Cleveland, we know what Jacoby can do, right? Like, we've seen him plenty of times with bad receivers. I mean, maybe his best receiver was T.Y. Hilton or something. I don't know. But, like, well, let's see what he can do now. And T.Y., by the way, is a good receiver, but I'm saying, like, he didn't have a ton of great receivers his whole career. So I think Jacoby, he has not won a lot of games, but he has not been the reason they lost those games either. So I say ride with Jacoby. I say Seattle. I don't know what their deal is. They don't seem like they're in a hurry to get a quarterback. I mean, they were clearly out on Baker, so I kind of do wonder if DK had something to do with that. Like, no, man, I ain't catching balls from Baker. But, so I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, I think 49ers is the best place for him to stay. And why would you ship him to your rival anyways? Why would you ship him to Seattle? And then if he comes back and beats you, my goodness, that's a terrible plan.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you guys. I feel like the best scenario for Jimmy is to definitely stay with the 49ers. Because honestly, like I said, like John just said, Jimmy G's biggest concern really has just been his injuries, though. Like him just not being able to stay healthy, honestly. So, I mean, like you said, Jimmy's been able to win games. He's a game manager and stuff, things like that. So it's not like Jimmy can't get the job done. It's just, his health is his only, downfall right now. So, yeah, I mean, if he can work something up to stay with the 49ers, I would stay with the 49ers. But, I mean, just going back again to what John was saying, yeah, if he did leave the 49ers, I would definitely say probably go to the Seahawks. Because, like you said, Jacoby, I feel like we'll be definitely okay enough with Jacoby, especially, with our running game and our defense and stuff like that. So I don't feel like we need to make a move for Jimmy G right now. And just, let Jacoby do his thing until Watson gets back.
Cleveland's got the money, though. They got the cap space, but, yeah, I mean.
If anything, we should use that money to go get another receiver,
right.
Just to go aside, Cooper. I'm saying? If I know this sounds crazy, but if it was some way, somehow that we could get Metcalf, that would be, something nasty. That's because of the fact that, if the Seahawks can't find a quarterback, you know what I'm saying? Why not try to catch a couple passes from, Brissett right now, but just knowing in the future that you're going to be catching passes from Watson. That's just. I'm just throwing something out there, DK. So if you're listening, but hey, why not? But anyways, no. But yeah, honestly though, on a serious note, if I'm Jimmy G, I'm staying with the 49ers just because that's pretty much your best bet. You were just pretty much, I think, a game away from the Super Bowl last year from winning. So yes, why not try to if you can stick it out, man. So stay with the Niners, Jimmy G.
Yeah. So switching gears here, fellas. with teams that are, you know, players that want to go elsewhere. Some don't. And in this case, Dame Lillard is one of the ones that does not want to leave Portland. But I'm gonna ask you guys this: not even about the money. Is Dame too loyal to Portland?
No,
I think so.
he's too loyal to getting paid. I mean, this is the dude.
But
You can always take because you can always get more paid more by your own team than any. They're allowed to offer you more money than any.
I
other
get
team.
that.
And every time he takes the money, so I mean, there's that too. Like he's never.
Yeah,
said
but at
no
the
to
same
money.
time, they're not spending money to bring nobody there.
I
You
agree.
let
So
CJ
what
go.
I'm saying is he loyal to Portland or is he loyal to these giant contracts? And again, I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying like that's also another question too. Is
Yeah.
I mean we're talking
But
about.
do you think he's too loyal to Portland though? Like, do you feel like Portland, outside the money, show him the same loyalty he shows them? Cause it don't seem like every time somebody becomes available, it seems like they ain't never like in the running. You never
No,
hear, hey, Portland in talks to getting KD from Golden State or getting LeBron from Cleveland. It's like, bruh, can you bring somebody for my man?
yeah, no, I agree. Like, I mean, it seems like he's a good enough player where he has way too much power that like the team almost has to give in to his demands. So like, it's almost like you can't ever let this guy go. But it all seems like the team owner doesn't not a big fan of his. Maybe he, because the team owner doesn't really always get to say who stays and who goes and whatever. But she made it clear, like apparently, like I don't know if they said refused or just whatever, like neglected to talk to Damian Lillard. I mean, she's talking about selling her team, and she hasn't talked to Damian Lillard in some time now. Like so. I get it. Not everyone gets to talk to the owner of their company they work for. I mean, I don't, not everyone at Amazon gets to talk with Jeff Bezos or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah,
still,
but when
but,
you damn near
but
the best
yeah, NBA is
best thing
different.
that they've
NFL,
had in a long time, it should be some kind of conversation.
yeah. So that's the thing, right? Is like every player at some point talks to their biggest stars, though, and has a meeting or something with them. So what we hear. So I'm a little surprised. So no, I mean, obviously, like, yeah, the owner doesn't seem to be, best buds with him and all that. But the team itself, they did spend the money. Like we're talking about, like he's about to make $63 million at 36 years old. We were talking about they had the most expensive team in the league a couple of years ago when him and CJ were only making about 30 million each. So now he's making like they were making about a combined 63 million. Now he's about to make that. Now your number one player is about to make that. Like, how are you affording to pay anyone else at that point? And again, we keep seeing this just push it forward, and somehow these salary cap never really seems to affect any of these teams at all. But like, and so he's about to make what him and CJ were making when we were talking about them being the highest paid team in the league. So maybe you could argue they're paying the wrong people the wrong amounts, because they definitely tried to get him help, like, but I
John,
mean,
who have
but
you
they
heard
brought in.
anything you did? Who have
No,
you
but
heard?
I'm saying that I think he believed that him and CJ were the guys, and all they needed was role players, and they went and I really do. I think he didn't
No,
want like
I get that, but you ain't never been there. You ain't never been there. Like you ain't even gotten close. How the hell you think you and CJ
he
can
made
do it
he made the West Conference Finals once, didn't he?
and got swept? They lost.
Okay, but I'm saying you said he ain't close. I mean,
But you gotta think that year was a lot of injuries in the league.
I know that, but but we've talked about this before. Every team that makes it gets a lot of injuries, and where
Yeah.
they get lucky. But I'm just saying, like, I agree with you. They have not been great. We've never looked at them and said, this is greatness. We've had moments where we said Damian Lillard was great. In that specific playoffs. I mean, we were talking about. People were saying he's surpassed Steph, and I'm like, hang on, he's about to run into him about a couple series. Let's dial it back. But I mean, so we're just like, what are they missing? And
they missing Jimmy Butler. And I say this like I've said before.
They missing a lot more.
They should have gotten Jimmy Butler before he went to Philly. Like as soon as he left Chicago, they should have been on the horn trying to get him to Portland. Because if you could have had Dame, CJ, Jimmy, and just Nurkic, that's a tough four right there. If Nurkic can stay healthy, that's a tough four. And Jimmy's a culture guy. So, they might not be the best defensive team, but if he's out there defending, the others are just going to do it, force of habit. If Walt is working out, we're going to be like, well, shit, we got to work out. What are we doing? He can't be the only one out here looking good and shit. Like, come on, bro. I'm going to get in the gym too. So it's like, you should have went after him. Even with, this might sound bad, but before LeBron went to LA, are you too prideful to be like, hey, King, come on to Portland?
LeBron ain't never going to Portland, bro.
I'm just saying, you can put it out there. He said he want to play for him. Remember all the comments a couple years ago? Man, watch what I could do with a Dame Lillard. Like, come on, bro. You got to call somebody to do something. I'm not saying he isn't. But,
right. So I guess my thing is, I'm not going to say that a team isn't trying just because they didn't go get one of the top 5 names in the game, right? They didn't go get AD, Giannis, Steph, KD, or LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say they're not trying because of that. Like, I think that Dame believed he was that guy. I'm a top 5 player, so we have our top 5 player. All right, fine. Now we go get our Middleton. Boom, we have that CJ McCollum. Okay, now good. Now we go get our defensive anchors and our offensive bigs. Okay, we got Ennis Freedom and Jurkic. And then they add the 6th man, Rodney Hood. Then you have your sharpshooter. They had Seth Curry. Like, they had a team. They did give him a team. Like, it's not like he didn't have a team. And by the way, they won like 50. Them, though. Okay, right. That's
people.
Right, but that's because players don't want to stay places now. Like, these people wanted to move. Like, Seth Curry wanted to go to Dallas. Like, a lot of these guys. Like, and I know, like, I do think that like Seth should have more say in his career. I mean, the guy's like the most accurate shooter of all time. At this point, like, I'm surprised he's still a journeyman. Like, if I'm any team out there, I'm going and getting Seth Curry. Like, I'm sorry if he's available. Like, to do the most accurate shooter in history. That's ridiculous. How is he just how are people just trading him like he's just like nothing? I don't get it. But
well, I mean, at the end of the day, like we all keep saying, the NBA, is a business. So I mean, I don't know. Me personally, like I said, I just feel like they are overpaying. I don't say overpaying, but I mean they are investing a lot of their money into Dame. And then they just paid Simons too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get that y'all might be trying to make moves maybe, but just for you to only invest all that money into Simons and Lillard, because I mean, I think Lillard, he's already making like $44 million each these next 3 years too, plus, what he's going to be making in the 2-year extension. So it's like, that's a lot of money invested into, like John said, a 36-year-old who's, hasn't really been able to get much done himself. Like Nico said, up until this point. So it's just definitely, I'm not sure really where Dame's head is at. Like I said, I want to say it's about the money, but he says he wants to win. But I mean, at the end of the day, I just feel like it can't be about winning, because it's just like, it does seem like you're kind of going after the money. Because I mean, let's be real. I mean, I think I don't think he's gonna want to leave. I don't think he's gonna leave Portland because I feel like he's pretty much the mayor of Portland though. Like he's pretty much runs Portland. Like I hate to say it though, like he's pretty much kept Portland's name relevant, if I should say. You feel me? Like let's be honest. Like I don't know what other sports teams that they have up there in Portland. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but really, like I said, Dame is kept Portland's name, relevant. You know what I'm saying?
The next best thing in Portland is the Oregon Ducks.
I mean, yeah, if anyone's getting a commercial in Portland, Dame, you were calling Dame, like, you know what I mean? That was the biggest name. I would never say that he doesn't care about winning. I think that he really believes he's a top 5 player and he can win by himself, and that's great. And he wants just surround me with pieces, let me do it. I'm okay with it. I don't have a problem with the way his career played out. Now, again, there's an extension, so he's only going to get like 30 or 40 million for the next 3 or 4 years still. And then the last 2 years of his deal, he's going to make like 60 something million. So he's still a young guy and he's got, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, if they don't get it done in these next 3 or 4 years when they're paying him 30, 40 million, they're not going to get it done when he's 36 and they're paying him 63 million. That's all I'm saying. But no, I mean, I don't mind the way his career has played out to this point. And if he wins one title or makes it to one title, I think his career will be solidified as an all-time great. But so he's still got time. I'm not out on Dame yet, but I'm not gonna sit here and say Portland hasn't done anything either. And I don't think that Dame is just chasing the money. He's obviously chasing the money, but but I also think that he's chasing greatness. Individual greatness, right? And I think that he doesn't want to do it the AD way, where he goes and gets a ring with LeBron. I think he wants to actually do it as the guy. But no, I mean, even the next year you talked about, I think they brought in like Trevor Ariza. They went and got Carmelo. Like, and I understand Carmelo's not Carmelo, but I mean, they have given him pieces. They've never just left him with nothing. So I'm the management now, the owner. She's got her own issues with him and all, whatever, but she's planning on selling the team anyway, so I'm not even worried about all that. But I think the team is, for the most part, done right by him. I think he has done right most part by the team. It just hasn't worked yet, and I think we'll see. I think that, I mean, with talent level, I think he's comeback player of the year. If you know what I mean, like there's no way anyone can top what this guy can do. There's a lot of great players who can have really good years compared to last year. But, obviously I think Dame is a clear cut favorite, like comeback player of the year, man. Like he just, because of it. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. So
on to the Knicks.
Going from Portland to Washington. Bradley Beal, is he, is it the same question for him? Well, I think his might be a little different because they have I ain't gonna say the pieces, but you could be a bottom playoff team. I believe Kuzma's still there, correct?
Yeah.
And Porzingis, right?
Yep.
So I mean, you got the team to make it to the playoffs. You ain't getting to the finals or nothing. But you can be a 6, 7, 8 seed. Do y'all think Washington is not being as loyal to Bradley Beal as he is to them?
Well, I think with this one, I think they were just trying to. I think John was trying to say, like, does he have too much power in Washington or whatever? I think because you got to break down the contract again, John, because I think it was like a trade clause.
There's only like 8 or 9, 10 players in NBA history who've had a no trade clause with the addendum that, like, if they want to be traded, they can pick what team they want to be traded to as well, right? Because that gives that team, right? If I say, I want to go to Portland, right? You almost have to take whatever Portland offers at that point. Like, and obviously it has to be a realistic offer, but I'm saying, like, if you get offers from like 8 or 9 teams, you can shop. Come on, Lee. if you can shop like what team gives you the best offers, but if if the player gets to pick where they go, you're kind of left. I do think that they've been loyal to him. I mean, we're talking about paying a guy what like 40-50 million dollars a year. I'd say they've been pretty loyal to him. They gave him the reins, so of the team. Like, I guess so. At this point, the pressure is on them now to not just prove loyalty to him, but also prove. I guess when you say loyalty, you probably mean like, are they going to give him the pieces to win? And
or at least make the effort.
Right, and I think they have. I mean, sure, we can argue like that's a stupid choice, but I mean, they gave him Westbrook. They went and got Porzingis. They have gone and gotten guys. I just think they haven't actually sat down and like tried to build a team. Like, okay, let's be realistic now. We want to win a title, right? It's not going to be Westbrook and Porzingis. This is not the combo. We need to go get we need to surround him with guys that fit this system. And I would say that they've done a bad job GMing the team, but I wouldn't say they haven't been loyal to him.
I feel like with that though, KD should have went to Washington. Why not go home? Possibly win a title at the crib.
I feel like that's definitely a best suit for KD, in my opinion, to go back to Washington.
Yeah, that's a choice he made though, not Washington.
No, correct. But you following Kyrie to Brooklyn, bro, go home. Go to Washington, D.C. You win in Washington. Just think about it. You win in Washington. That would be equivalent to LeBron winning in Cleveland.
They said that
went home and won a title.
They said that the Nets offered Minnesota KD for Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and 4 first-round picks. I'm like, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm like, no, of course they said no to that. That is.
But at the same time, look at what they gave up for Gobert. So it's like, you dumb enough to do that one. We're gonna see if you're dumb enough to do this one.
Right, but you still have no. But there's a difference between giving up the bench and a bunch of picks.
But you gave up like 4 people and like
it don't matter. I'm taking it. Right. You still have Anthony Edwards and Karl Towns. If you trade them, now you literally have KD and Gobert. That's your team. Like, no.
You tall. No. You got a tall team. That's all.
You got 2 tall guys, but they do have the longest team in the league right now. Like the average player on that team has like starting 5 is like a wingspan of like 7 foot practically.
You know who else got one? Your team. They say your team average.
Yeah.
I think Giddey 6'8", Shea is 6'6",
or something like that.
And then you got 2 7-footers and a 6'10". I'm like, dang, they look like Kentucky a couple years ago. All right.
But they all slim though. Like I'm just saying, like they got
shit. Kentucky was slim.
I was gonna say so is Gobert and KD though. So.
True.
But yeah, I mean, we're talking about the current Timberwolves. They ain't slim. Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards.
No, I'm talking about your team is slim. They tall.
I know.
Slim.
So what's your take? So what you think, Walt? You think you think he'll be loyal to that soil just like Dame?
I mean, of course he's going to be loyal. Like I said, he's been there 10 years, and you know what I'm saying, they've been pretty much playing him, ever since John Wall left, because they pretty much saying like, hey, you are our go-to guy now. So I mean, I don't mind Bradley Beal not staying. I mean, wanting to stay with the Wizards, because I mean, like you said, they not a bad team, and they just need more pieces. Honestly, they just need maybe another superstar and a couple maybe role players. But just going to what John was saying, I feel like that's basically on management for not really putting the team together, though. Really, like y'all just trying to put a whole bunch of guys together that really don't really, I should say, mesh together. I should say, but I just really feel like management needs to really sit down, and they really need to try to see what it's going to take to try to put the right team and the right pieces around Bill to help them get out of the slump that they've been going through right now and missing the playoffs for like the 3rd straight year, I think, or 4th straight year, something like that. So,
hey, KD, go home, bro. Go home. Stop playing.
And that'll be a big step for them, because that'll help uplift them. That the spirits in Washington too. You know what I'm saying? Ticket sales, whatever you want to do, marketing.
Like, imagine how dope that'd be, though. Like, Wizards championship celebration, in the nation's capital. Like,
That'd be crazy. You got the
that'd be
president, everybody there
chocolate
though. That'd be
city.
crazy.
Chocolate City, and that's true. At that point, you can't say, "Oh no, that wasn't KD team, bro. They didn't have shit."
Yeah, we can actually. I will actually
That's,
give KD his props if he actually goes home and
of
wins.
course.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
I wouldn't have no
like I
choice.
say, that'll be equivalent to LeBron going home.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree. I
Because they
agree.
ain't never. I don't even. I mean, outside the Nationals, the baseball team, they ain't never had one. I don't think. And
No.
then the Redskins from the '80s. I mean, oh my bad. The Commanders from the '80s.
I mean, their hockey team has won a couple,
Yo,
but
you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
they got pretty good player out there. But yeah, man,
Oh yeah, I was about to say. Hold on, wait. Oh yeah, I had to think.
I think Alex Ovechkin, right?
Yeah, Alex
Yes,
Ovechkin.
you're
That's
right.
probably like
Okay,
the top players
Man, I
right
forgot
now.
all about Alex Ovechkin.
but but yeah, I think they've done right by him. I just think they've done a terrible job of doing it. And so I think they need to actually just GM this team like a legit team. Like, all right, let's try to actually find pieces that make sense for surround Bradley Beal. I mean, he's your guy. So
Yeah, true. True. So, staying on the East Coast, Jalen Brunson, Illinois' finest, has moved on from the Dallas Mavs to the New York Knicks. I think this was. I think they just trying to get a name in there as the Knicks. What I'm saying, they just trying to get a name. I don't think they'll be any better. I think New York. The Knicks will still be the team. All the all the big time stars put a show on for. I don't. And nothing against Jalen Bronson because he finally gets his team, but you got to surround him with some shit. Like, bruh, ain't nobody never won by themselves. You got to surround him with some players. Is Julius Randle gonna stay? Is him and Thibodeau going? Are they gonna coexist with his tough coaching? Um, it's stuff to think about. RJ Barrett, is he happy being in New York? It's they got a lot to think about. He might be walking into a situation to where you by your damn self. Like, hey, we signed you, but yeah, everybody else leave. Julius ain't happy. RJ ain't happy. You could be in a bad spot. So, I hope New York can surround him with some pieces because, who you don't I think no matter how much money you make in those professions, you hate losing. And when you lose in 30, 40 games a season, it's like, what the hell? Or, 50, 60. Like, it ain't no money in the world that can cheer you up. Yeah, that bank account look nice, but you trying to win something at least.
Yeah,
You making 100 mil, but you losing 60 games. You like, what's the
yeah.
it's only gonna get so fun. I'm like, come on, bro. So I just hope he knows what he's getting into. But it says a lot. I don't know if this report is true, but they say like he didn't even let the Mavs give him an offer sheet. Could that be? Could him and Luca have some problems because Luca was very ball dominant.
well, so okay, so he went to the Nets or the Knicks because his dad's about to be the assistant coach.
Well,
But
I wouldn't. Well, go ahead.
in theory, but I'm imagining. I mean, to not give the Mavs even an offer. These like we talked
No,
about,
even a chance to offer.
right? We just talked about like they had the opportunity to offer him more money than anyone. So he knew he was gonna if he just wanted to get paid, he would have stayed with Dallas. So and
Yeah.
Mark Cuban said they were ready to break the bank for him. So um, this clearly for me it has to be about just playing with his dad. That's the only thing I can think of that makes sense. I mean, nothing else makes sense. But I will say, like RJ Barrett, and I'm not comparing him to Andrew Wiggins in a sense that they're the same player, but I'm just saying he's kind of like Andrew Wiggins in a way that, like, if he has the right pieces around him where the pressure's not on him to be the guy, like, you know, to score on every play, like, I think RJ Barrett still has a lot of growth he can show us. And so putting him with Jalen Brunson and bringing other guys, I really do think we're going to see better improvement from RJ Barrett. And a little bit, I'm not going to say we're going to see greatness right away, but I'm just saying I think we'll see what we expected more out of RJ Barrett in the coming years, just because, like, oh, okay, you know, now he's finally playing with other people who can put the ball on the floor and do their thing, you know. I mean, let's be honest, Porzingis ain't putting the ball on the floor, taking people off the dribble and you know, all that stuff. So when you got one guy, two guys who can do that, you know, you're just kind of playing off everybody else to respect that player. And, you know, it makes it harder on them. So, and we saw him struggle this year. I know he had 20 points a game, but, I mean, he struggled to get them. So, I do think that the Knicks, I like it. But, yeah, I mean, if I'm Jalen, I'm sorry. I understand you won't play with your dad and all that stuff. But, I mean, I'm still giving Dallas a shot. I want to hear what they got to say. I want to hear their pitch, and that way I can make a decision. This seemed like he had his mind made up already. So, you know, hey, kudos to you, man. Like, go play for your dad, you know, and bring success to the Knicks finally, you know, something we haven't seen in a while. But you know, but you got a scoring big, you know, in Randall, you know, you got pieces. So, you know, I'm happy the Knicks might be legit relevant again.
This is their team right now, real quick.
Yeah, I was just about to. Yeah.
Oh, you got it?
No, go ahead.
You got Derrick Rose. You know, that's Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Cam Reddish, Emmanuel Quigley, Evan Fournier.
Evan Fournier, yeah.
Fournier, there you go. And Alec Burke, Nerlens Noel. So, I mean, you know, you got Trevon Keels. He was nice.
Pretty much a team full of guards.
A team full of what?
Of guards.
Yes. But you got some scores. So maybe, you know, maybe the Knicks will just be them teams that's like, hey, we can't beat you, but we're going to have a shootout, and let's see who wins.
I mean, they did finish fifth last year, so, I mean, they showed some type of improvement, I guess, from the year before. I guess, honestly,
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
I'm about to say, damn, they was in the playoffs. I didn't even know.
Yeah, so, I mean, of course, shout out to Brunson. I mean, like John was saying, he pretty much had his mind already made up once his dad signed the contract and saying that, you know, hey, I'm about to be the assistant coach. And like you said, I mean, he's got all his family out there. So I'm guessing he's just like, hey, I get the money, get to play with my dad, and all my family and friends are out here now. So maybe I can turn the city around. You know what I'm saying? Me coming back to the city can maybe bring more pieces to, you know, to the Knicks. That's what maybe he's trying to say. But just based off the names that you just named off, I mean, I don't see them I don't want to say making the playoffs, but they won't be making any noise in the playoffs, I should say, just because of, you know, you coming from a Dallas team where you just, you know, we're just in the Western Conference Finals, you feel me? So you were maybe like a one role player away, maybe a superstar away from, you know, maybe going to the NBA Finals. So, you know, you going from being on a championship team now to a pretty much a rebuild team, you know, that's just, you know, pretty much like John said, Bronson's his mind was already made up at the fact that, you know, hey, I wanted to just go home and play with my peoples. You know what I'm saying? So like, it clearly wasn't about the money because, you know, Maverick would have been able to match it or give him more. So
yeah, true.
He just wanted to go home, play with his family, and hope maybe he can, you know, bring a new energy to the New York Knicks and stop Steve from crying every year. So
I just hope in his case he performs well. Because if he don't,
if he don't have that same type of performance that he had throughout the regular season and the playoffs last year, it's going to be even more.
Averaging 20 or better.
Boy. Hey, but you know what I never considered now, because now Dallas has the cap space, they could sign Kevin Durant.
Oh, here he go.
No. I'm just saying, like, it's not off the table.
Yeah, but they had to give up a lot, though.
Right.
They had to give up a lot. And Luka might have to be involved in that too.
You got to give up Reggie Bullock. You got to give up Dinwiddie, and you got to give up is it Kelber? The big
all I'm saying is
Kleber, Maxi Kleber.
That's fine. If I can keep Christian Wood and Doncic and maybe Dinwiddie, I'm getting rid of.
I just said you would probably have to trade Dinwiddie.
I'm just saying if I can find a way to keep Dinwiddie,
you can finesse it.
If I find a way to keep those three, I'm doing it. I'm doing it if I'm Dallas. That's all I'm saying. But I don't think they're going to, because I really do think they want it to be Luka's team, and I don't think there want to be any question about it. But I'm just saying it does open the door for it financially. But yeah, I agree. You're gonna have to get rid of like 3-4 first round picks and a bunch of other stuff too. But
yeah. So let me ask y'all this before we move to our next topic. How high was Dame when he said he had cooked Michael Jordan?
You mean Ja?
Ja. My bad.
I mean, I feel like that was just a confidence thing. I feel like any basketball player will say, like, "Oh, I'm better than this guy. I'm better than this guy," regardless.
But cook him, like you'll give him work. Like, come on.
I mean,
players gave Michael Jordan work.
I was about to say that's a lot of people.
Oh my God, I'm talking about 1-on-1.
Yes,
John Morant's a good one-on-one player, bro. Like, I'm not saying that he's going to win the game, but I mean, Jordan's going to get cooked a couple times. Yes, absolutely.
You think Allen Iverson didn't give Jordan work? You think a lot of guys didn't give Jordan work? Like,
you think Ja on Allen Iverson level?
You said that what?
He's probably got a bigger body.
Is Ja on is Ja on Allen Iverson's level of player?
Not yet.
But all right. Well,
but
when we get there, then we can say.
I mean, but it's just a confidence thing. That's just like me. That's just like if I'm about to say like, oh, I'm about to play like John or something, or Luka. I'm like, oh yeah, I could definitely beat John over. I could beat Luka. You know what I'm saying? Type stuff. But it's just a confidence thing, though. You feel me? Like,
but would you sit up and say, "Hey, I'll give Luka that crazy work"?
Yeah, absolutely. And knowing in the back of my mind, Luka gonna give me work though. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a confidence
I'm glad you
builder.
cleared that up in the back of my mind.
Here's the thing: we can see like the best defenders in the NBA, and then we see Luka, and we can get confused about how good he actually is or not at defense because we see him get cooked by NBA players. So like in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, I could probably score on Luka. But, like, obviously we just see him compared to other NBA players. In real life, I'm sure he's a great defender. But but when I see him on TV getting cooked
on Luka, if you get the ball first. If he get the ball first, you're going to lay an egg. You're going to lay an egg.
Like I said, I just feel like it's more of a confidence thing than him actually saying he could beat Jordan, though. You feel me? Like, I don't see, especially nowadays, I don't see none of these NBA players. Because you had one young dude saying that he was better than LeBron already. Like he said, he think he could beat LeBron.
He's on cocaine too. He's on cocaine.
That's a confidence thing, bro. That's what.
I'm just saying. In a 7-game series, I'll say Ja scores 35 at least once on Jordan. And maybe averages like 21, 22. I'll say that.
But yeah, well, no defense. He was on crack too when he said he better than LeBron. Like, bro, stop. Whoever told you that, tell them to stop lying to you.
It's about confidence, man. You got to make sure it's about the uphill.
It is, but it's like, bro, be humble. Humble yourself. Just be like, hey, it'll be a good game. But you can't say, hey, I give him that work. He don't want this smoke. Like, wait, hold on. You do know. He's like top 5 ever, right? You are aware of that.
Top, if not
top. Defensively? Come on, man. He ain't top 5. John Jordan or LeBron now?
I'm both.
Both. I'm about to say
LeBron. Great. They're both great.
Right, but Jordan ain't that work. Jordan ain't top 5 defensively all the time. I wouldn't say he's top 5 defensively all the time.
Probably not. But 1-on-1, he probably all defense.
Yeah, I'm about to say Jordan got a good couple of all defensive
first team 1-on-1. So, because Because you gotta
Jordan
look at
played
it like
defense.
this.
Jordan definitely played defense for sure.
Ain't no you can't set no screens. You can't be off ball. No, it's
It's
one on one.
Right.
Me and you ain't none of that. So I just thought I'm like, yeah, he's smoking. He's smoking.
I will say, like, Jordan, he didn't struggle, but he struggled a lot more at guarding 3-point shooters than he did, because he kind of almost relied on people back in those days to drive to the rim.
Yeah.
So he kind of played off people and let them come into him and pick their pocket when they would drive.
Yeah.
I do think that he would struggle to guard Steph Curry. I really do. I believe that Steph Curry would give him
You're saying the best shooter.
No, I agree. I'm just saying. I don't think that Jordan could lock down Steph Curry. I really think that's one player that he could not.
I was about to say we getting completely off topic, man. Let's go to the next topic. Let's go. I'm sorry, but I gotta go. I gotta take my baby.
No, yeah, that was it. That's all we got for today.
Oh, all right. Well, look, I apologize, y'all. Look, I gotta go ahead and be responsible real quick. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all joining Real Deal Sports this morning. It's your boy Big Watt. My boy Nico Suave looking suave in him. I said swole in him up. I meant to say suave. Boy, might have been in the gym though. You been in the gym, bro?
No, but we could go with
that. My boy Nico Suave, my boy John, the hardest working man in showbiz right now. We appreciate y'all joining us this morning, this fine early morning. Hope y'all start the day off with some good sports material from us. Go to work. Make sure y'all share, like, comment, all that. You feel me? So, hey. That's been Real Deal Sports today. Appreciate y'all joining us. Thank you. We'll see y'all next time.
Yeah.